So, what do I mean by newness? If you're new here, I think we have talked about this concept even last year in various different videos or in the podcast. So, newness I refer to as the feeling you have or the excitement you have when you are starting something new or when you are about to start something new, and that newness factor is very exciting, and it makes you do things, at least in the beginning, and it makes you start new things, it makes you take up new things, it makes you explore new things, and that newness factor keeps it kind of fueled. So you are always like, man, I want to start this super new cool thing, and I would do it. I'm just all excited about it, and that feeling is what I call newness factor. uh, it's a good thing to start with. It's a good catalyst, and you should held on. You should hold on to it so that you could keep building those things or whatever new thing you wanted to start or you started. So that's there, but at times or many a times that newness fades away, and once that fades away, you are left with not so much of a motivation to do anything, and you just drop those projects, you keep them aside, you forget them, or you just keep telling yourself that okay, one day I'll start it again, and right, and maybe I don't feel like today, but tomorrow I'll start, and it never happens. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about refueling that newness, or the statement is yes, newness does need gas. So we'll talk about that gas in today's episode. We also have a very funny Marathi proverb on the same topic, which we call Navyache Nau Divas. That means your newness thing or the excitement of the new lasts for 9 days, and once that's over, you are not very happy about it, and sometimes you just drop things. So any new object you buy, you are happy for those 9 days. Of course it's subjective, so it's not exactly 9 days per se, but yeah, you're happy for some days, and once that newness fades away, you just drop those things. Yeah, and we'll talk about how to gas them again so you keep doing things. Let's go.
Your afternoon caffeine with Dailysh Pod is here, a creative podcast to refuel your day. Presenting your host, Suyog, also known as the Fun Indian Guy.
So from my experiment or my own example, since 2017, I'm working on my YouTube channel, and it has been a very steady growth, extremely slow but steady growth. And the main thing which I always had to work on was not actually the filmmaking or video making or doing stuff, writing content or doing the whole production. It was more like the main challenge was to keep myself interested in that, keep myself excited to do more. And that's the main key challenge which I've faced throughout my experience on YouTube. Since 2017, I've also worked on different formats. And initially we started with travel vlogs. After exploring that part, I went into more like design vlog kind of situation. Then I started to talk about all the design things I was doing. Then I started a podcast. So a lot of people used to come. We used to do a lot of discussions, a group like guest discussions on the channel under Dailysh Pod. And then we were doing a lot of very technical stuff about explaining how to do innovation stuff. Then we went into like a startup kind of a phase where we were doing a lot of content for entrepreneurs and startups. And all these things were happening till now and will keep happening, and all those jumps and all those different styles and all those different series I came up with all the time, those things, if we now look at or zoom out and look at the whole journey, that is the act of seeking newness. So eventually I used to create something and get bored of it. And after I used to get bored, I just wanted to keep doing. So in order for me to be excited, I used to come up with new series, new format, new kind of content. And then I used to build that for some time. And then again, newness used to fade away. And then I used to again experiment something else. But the main umbrella was constant. And okay, I want to build stuff there, and I want to put stuff out, and I want to learn continuously. I want to explore whatever I want to do in my life. And that was a constant. But in order to keep the newness, I had to gas it and twist it every once in a while. So, as I said, through my experience, I would definitely say that whenever you're doing something and your newness fades away for some reason, the next step shouldn't be dropping it away. The next step should be, how can I find the next new thing in that particular domain? Because even switching too many things all the time is also not good for you, because that ends up not creating a body of work. So you have to still be in a couple of domains which you already were working in, and start finding new things in that. And trust me, there are so many different ways by which or with which you can do things. So all your attention should be, okay, if you are feeling that you're getting bored in that particular sector, hold on, and see what other things you could do in that particular domain which is exciting, or how can you change your style which can keep it interesting for you, and what are some other things you can learn in that particular domain. Because learning, when it's done out of your own passion, it's just fast for some reason, and it's very fun, and it doesn't feel that you're putting a lot of efforts. So try to also find some learning opportunities in the particular domain, and keep finding newness, because again, even after doing all these steps, you will end up being in a situation soon after, or after some time, that you will be again kind of done with that particular thing. So yeah, find a new gas and keep rebuilding it. And the gas is the excitement factor. So it's not going to be mechanical, that you are just putting in and not getting anything out of it, and not even getting happiness of building. It will be the challenge of finding that particular thing which excites you and start doing it for some time, and then find the next thing which is exciting and start doing that for some time. And it's going to be like that. Like, that's what I've realized after 4-5 years being here. And I think you have to be ready for fueling or refueling your newness, so that it's on point and it lets you do things. Just think about all those projects which you dropped, and all those things you started and didn't continue, all those plans you made where you watched tons of videos, you went through so many tutorials that you were all pumped, and then after doing it for a couple of times, the results were not so great because your references were up there, and that's why you started to feel low and you just dropped it. All those projects are actually still waiting for you. So pick one of them up, think about it, think about what could be exciting in that particular thing, and start building. Because the body of work, the particular thing I mentioned, in long run, that is going to make you feel happy. Because right now, as I said, I made a bunch of videos on this channel, and made a bunch of podcast also on this podcast. Because of that, though the style and the format kept changing, but we are still under the same channel. We are still under the same umbrella. So when I look at my work, even if it's all mixed and matched with so many random and different things, it still feels like a body of, or let's say a good body of work, because we have numbers to show. Not the numbers of viewers and subscribers, the numbers of projects which we did. So that is very satisfactory, and then that also helps you refuel the stuff. So don't switch things. Like, you can switch things under the same domain. I'm not saying you should also limit and not do something else. Of course, you can go ahead and do something else, but in long run, try to stick under some sort of a topic, so that it just makes you feel good, because you could connect everything, and you can actually connect every random thing to that topic. So it's not going to be a challenge, but the challenge would be how to keep it exciting. Okay, that's all from this episode. And what should we talk about towards the end of this episode is basically, I know, I'm pretty sure that you have at least one friend of yours. Whenever you meet him, he talks about, or she talks about all these cool things she wants to do. And then maybe some of them already started doing something and they were really good, and you really like their work, or you really appreciated whatever they were creating. But for some reason or the other, they just dropped it. Maybe it's time for you to be a good friend and remind them that all they have to do is find the newness in that particular project, so they can get excited again and start building, and then be ready for finding next newness again. So that is one way for you to explain it to them. The other way, or the easier way, where I have taken already the efforts of explaining and breaking down the whole thing which was in my head and make it explainable in this episode, is this particular podcast. So you just go ahead and share it with them. Even if you share it with one friend of yours, maybe he'll or she'll find something in it and they can work on it, and maybe they build something really cool and spread happiness around. That will be really amazing to know. With that said, thank you for staying till the end. Thank you for being here, and I shall catch you in the next one.
If you like what we do, then make sure to follow Dailyish Pod wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as on Instagram. For more visual experience, do subscribe to the Fun Indian Guy YouTube channel. Until next time, have fun.